Alrighty, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka G-Lauren33. I'm here tonight with your WWE SmackDown Live review and results for September 10th, 2019. Tonight we had the Go Home Show for SmackDown Live, and there's a lot we have to talk about. A lot happened, but I'm not gonna lie to you. This was kind of a boring show. You guys know out of the gates, I don't like to lie to y'all. I like to give you guys my thoughts right off the bat. So just a couple housekeeping items before we get into tonight's show. Yes, Junior, it's live. You ask this almost every time. Like almost all my Raw and SmackDown videos or my reviews and my pay-per-view reviews, they're almost always live. All right, you ask that every single time. But just a couple of housekeeping items before we get into tonight's review. We have the Monday Night Raw review that is up from last night. Alright, we discussed the amazing tag team match we had between Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. We also discussed the Universal title situation. We talked about the 10-man tag team match that happened at the beginning of the show. Usually, Junior, it tells you if it's a premiere or not. Just like we also talked about Stone Cold Steve Austin and why, as much as I love Stone Cold, his return to Madison Square Garden didn't feel all that special. And we'll also talk about that tonight as well, because I got almost the same exact vibe with the return of the Undertaker to Madison Square Garden tonight, where we talked about all that. We talked about the King of the Ring semifinals, Baron Corbin winning that triple threat match with Samoa Joe and Ricochet. So all that we talked about last night on the Raw review. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, make sure to go check that out after watching this video. As always, the links to my social medias are down in the description down below. Also, just letting you guys know, most likely tomorrow night, unless something big happens, tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, somewhere around that time, I will be posting my Clash of Champions preview and prediction show. All right. Oh, and Junior, man, I love to hear that. For those you guys don't know, Junior, he's one of my long time viewers. We were always debating about women's wrestling, and for years he's always been saying Sasha's not the #1 wrestler. Well, it's good to see that you've come over to the light. All right, you've seen the light. Sasha Banks is the best female wrestler in the world, and now you see that for what she is. And hopefully this Sunday, Sasha will win the Raw Women's Champion. We'll talk about that all tomorrow on tomorrow's Clash of Champions preview and prediction show. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna do a live video, or I'm just gonna post a normal video on that. All right, we'll have to wait and see. Most likely it'll be a normal video. It won't be a live stream, but I'll let you guys know. Follow me on social media to be updated with all of that. This Sunday, Clash of Champions, I might be doing a live stream, like a live reaction show. It's been a while since we've done that. Haven't decided, but most likely it's looking more likely that I will be doing a live reaction and a review all in the same night. So, unless something changes, all right? Also, with NXT coming to USA Network every Wednesday, I might start doing NXT reviews. I don't know. For years, I've always considered debating doing NXT and NXT TakeOver. I watch them all the time. Sometimes this is the hassle because I already do Raw reviews. Most weeks I do SmackDown reviews and then pay-per-view reviews. Like doing an NXT reviews, that's another day. I would have to do another review. That's like 3 consecutive days of doing these live streams. So, and sometimes that can take a toll on my voice. So, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I haven't, maybe some weeks, maybe I'll do like every other week with NXT reviews. We'll have to wait and see. But if you guys want to see that, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Say, Fitzmonk, we want NXT reviews. All right? But we're going to get into tonight's show. We had the Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton had a segment. They basically recreated the same segment they did 10 years ago. One of my favorite segments of all time. Because you guys know I'm a huge Kofi Kingston fan. We're going to talk about Bayley and how, in my opinion, WWE is fucking up on her heel turn. We're going to talk about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens got fired tonight. All right, fired tonight, which to me doesn't make any sense. I have no idea really where they're going with this storyline, but we'll talk about it, and we're going to talk about Chad Gable advancing to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, and all of that other good stuff. We're also going to talk about how WWE continues to bury the women's tag team championships. All right, but the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to focus on the Undertaker and his return to Madison Square Garden. And like I said earlier, at the beginning of the show, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love the Undertaker, two of my favorites of all time. All right, favorites of all time. And, they have history, especially in Madison Square Garden. Remember all those years ago at SummerSlam when they faced off against each other. One of the more iconic moments in WWE's history at MSG. But The Undertaker returned to start off the show tonight. And, as always, just like I said last night, just The Undertaker's entrance alone, the reaction he gets from the crowd, it shows the difference between WWE superstars from back then and WWE superstars now. Alright? You can see just in the reaction, just in the way the crowd reacts when Undertaker's gong hits. There's nobody on the main roster, nobody on the SmackDown Live roster, nobody on the main roster in general that gets a reaction anywhere close to the likes of Undertaker or like the reaction that Stone Cold Steve Austin got last night in MSG. It really shows that WWE doesn't invest into their superstars, doesn't invest into their talent. And WWE, like I always say each and every single week, WWE has more talent now than it's ever had before, and they fail to use it on a weekly basis. That's shown in Undertaker's entrance. Nobody else gets a reaction close to down the main roster. Not Seth, not Roman, not AJ, not Sasha, not Becky, no one. No one. Alright? And it makes me sick because WWE has the talent. Alright? It's just lazy writing and the failure to invest in the talent of today. Alright? It's the reason why they can't sell out Madison Square Garden. Alright? What did Undertaker do tonight? Honestly, what did Undertaker do tonight? He didn't add anything to the show. The Undertaker being there was just for WWE to try to sell out Madison Square Garden. And I'm not even sure, Renee Young was on commentary last night saying, well, we are live in NYC at the sold-out Madison Square Garden. I think that's a cap. I think that's a lie. I don't think they sold out Madison Square Garden last night. I really don't think they did. I feel like they just said it just to say that. Maybe they were close. Maybe it was 90% full, but I really don't believe WWE sold out Madison Square Garden the way we've heard in the last couple weeks how WWE has been struggling with ticket sales for these two shows. It was so bad that they were offering discounts on 2 nights. They had these special offers where you could get tickets for last night and this night. What up, Karen? But you could get discounts for Raw and SmackDown. It was like a 2-for-1 offer in a way. And WWE was still struggling to sell out the show. And that doesn't tell you what's wrong with this company. Alright? As much as people love Stone Cold and Undertaker, they see right past WWE's eyes. Alright? Undertaker and Stone Cold being there in MSG was clearly just for the people of NYC. It wasn't really meant for the people watching Raw and SmackDown each and every single week. It was just a way for WWE to try to get a cheap rating, because every time, this is Vince McMahon's logic. Oh, we need ratings. Oh, let's just bring back a part-timer. Let's bring back a Stone Cold, or a Brock Lesnar, or a Undertaker, or a Goldberg. Like, huh? Really? That's the logic you have? That's really the logic you have when you go into booking your shows. Alright? We're just going to keep relying on the part-timers. God forbid, what if all these part-timers die? God forbid. What if these part-timers die? What are you going to do then? What, you going to bring back John Cena from whatever movie or TV show he's filming these days? Like, come on. Make some sense. It's logic. Invest in your talent. Invest in them. And your product will be better. There's nobody on the main roster right now. Nobody. That, at least right now, will ever be at the level of a Stone Cold or The Rock or The Undertaker were. Just look at the reactions. Nobody. And it makes me sick. Not even NXT. Whenever Johnny Gargano finally gets called up, or whenever Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era get called up, or Velveteen Dream, or Shayna Baszler, as over at those superstars are in NXT, when they get called up, they're just part of the system. They don't become special because WWE fails to make them special. Probably the closest person, all right now, they get a genuine reaction out of the crowd. That the crowd absolutely pops every single week is when we get to see the Firefly Funhouse intro. All right, because I love the Firefly Funhouse intro. All right, I really do. Do you see the fans pop for it because they love the gimmick? They love what Bray Wyatt is doing. And the thing about it is, Bray Wyatt is not even there every single week. Most of his segments are pre-taped. They're pre-taped. And when he actually does appear there as the Fiend, attacking Jerry the King Lawler or attacking Mick Foley, or attacking whoever, it's special because hey, WWE is being organic with the Bray Wyatt character. Even though I disagree with them rushing Bray Wyatt into a Universal title match at Hell in a Cell, but still, it's organic and we can actually get behind it. I'm just scared that eventually, and especially if Bray Wyatt becomes Universal Champion, they'll mess it up somehow. They'll mess it up, and then Bray Wyatt won't become special. The Fiend character won't be as special as it was when we first saw him at SummerSlam. And then we're not going to be behind it as much as we used to. That's my main problem with them rushing Bray Wyatt into this Universal Championship feud. You had The Undertaker come out today, and basically he did the same thing. He basically did the same thing that Stone Cold did last night on Raw. Undertaker talked about the legends and all the people, all the souls he took in Madison Square Garden and the memories he's had, the memorable moments, the memorable matches. And Joe, we'll talk about Kevin Owens in a little bit, all right? We'll talk about Kevin Owens in a little bit, but everything Undertaker talking about everything, all the history he has in the Garden, and it's crazy to think about it. Undertaker's been in WWE now close to 30 years. All right, what was it? Survivor Series, what, 1996, 1997? All right, or 1995? I forget Undertaker's debut. And someone in the comments, like someone in the live chat, let me know. All right, but Undertaker, he's been in WWE for 30 years. Sami Zayn came out, and this was probably maybe the best part of this show tonight. When Sami Zayn comes out, you have the MSG Arena singing along like they usually do, because Sami Zayn has one of the most catchy theme songs in the entire company, right? But you have Sami Zayn come out. Sami Zayn comes out, and the Undertaker's reaction. This is pure reaction to Sami Zayn, doing his entrance, because Sami Zayn he's either falling on the ramp, or he's just acting like a fool. And Undertaker's reaction, Undertaker's eyes, the way they were, man, I absolutely loved it. It was pretty hilarious. It was pretty hilarious to see the way the Undertaker was acting during Sami Zayn's entrance. I enjoyed it a lot. But Sami Zayn gets in the ring, and he just starts talking about, the Undertaker and the history, basically sucking up the Undertaker. And basically, the main thing he said is, it would be too easy for me to make this crowd happy and take you out right here and now. I'm like, huh? Like, please. I'm like, please, Sami Zayn, no. Like, nobody wants you to take out the Undertaker. No. All right? Even though it would be pretty interesting, but no. It's not what people want. But Sami Zayn is then saying, after all the history you've made in this Garden, I'm here to tell you that WWE is in safe hands. Alright? You've done your part for the last 30 years. Now it's time for a new crop of superstars, which Undertaker actually mentioned during his promo. But Zayn said WWE is personally in good hands, and I will be the one to define this era. Like, no one believes Sami Zayn. Come on. Sami Zayn is getting, to my opinion, Sami Zayn is close to Dolph Ziggler level. The guy's great in the ring. All right, I love seeing him do what he does best in the squared circle. But at the end of the day, the guy is a loser. He's a loser. He's been back since WrestleMania and still hasn't won a match on WWE television. I don't even know if he's won a match at a house show. Like, how are we supposed to believe that Sami Zayn is going to be the future of this company? Even though we know that Sami Zayn is signed for years and years and years to come. But still, how am I supposed to believe that Sami Zayn is supposed to be the future of this company when clearly WWE Creative has zero plans for him, and they clearly don't care about Sami Zayn, or they would actually build him up. They would actually have him stop losing. I don't know. Joe, We'll talk about Kofi Kingston in a little bit. I'm going in chronological order for the show. We're gonna talk about Kofi. We're gonna talk about KO a little bit later on in the review. All right, but I do got some interesting thoughts about that. If you want to be a little bit patient, um, but back to the whole Undertaker situation. Undertaker, then after hearing Sami Zayn talk, Undertaker starts leaving the ring. You know, he exits through the ropes, and Zayn has this look like a kid in the candy store, just like, oh my gosh, you know, I made the Undertaker leave the ring. You know, and the fans were booing at first, and Undertaker gets back in the ring, and you know, Sami Zayn looks terrified, scared out of his mind. Undertaker delivers a choke slam to Sami Zayn, and that's the end of the segment. That's really it. Undertaker leaves the ring. He does his fist at the air at the top of the ramp like he usually does, and that's it. Honestly, what was the point of Taker being there tonight? It did nothing, absolutely nothing to build for Clash of Champions. Nothing at all to build for that show. It had no overall effect on tonight's SmackDown Live for me. Yes, I love The Undertaker, but the man should be retired. The guy should be in the Hall of Fame by now. But the reason why is he still is being paid millions and millions of dollars to make these appearances, but he doesn't add anything to these shows at all. Maybe if this was a Raw reunion or, you know, maybe a SmackDown 1000 or something like that, maybe I would care more. But this was just done for ticket sales, for cheap ratings. It does nothing towards the overall product. It does nothing. It doesn't add any value to these shows. It does nothing to build towards Clash of Champions, which is this Sunday. You have a go-home show for Clash of Champions tonight. Your pay-per-view is 5 days away, and this segment did absolutely nothing for Clash of Champions. Sami Zayn doesn't even have a match for Clash of Champions. He's most likely going to be Shinsuke's manager for his IC title match against The Miz. Like, what was the point of this? It was done for cheap ratings and ticket sales, and it did nothing for me. Nothing. I love The Undertaker, but there was no need for him on this show tonight. None whatsoever. Did nothing for the show. Did it make the show better or worse for me? No. No. Oh, Junior, going to Clash of Champions? Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, send me some videos, man. Send me some videos. Especially when Sasha wins that title. I'll definitely want to see the live reaction. All right? All right? I'll average. If you make a live reaction to Sasha versus Becky's match, I'll put it on the channel. How about that, Junior? All right? How about that? But back to what happened. What happened after this? All right, after yes, they had, I believe, The Miz versus Andrade Cien. And I knew where they was going in this match because sadly, Andrade should have never got eliminated by the King of the Ring tournament. All right, honestly, Andrade should have probably won the SmackDown bracket, but they had him lose to Chad Gable, which I'm not super mad about. But still, you know, for all the time that we've been hearing, Andrade's been on the main roster for over a year. All right, he came up shortly after the Superstar Shakeup last year, I believe. Right after WrestleMania, he debuted like around May of last year. He's been on the main roster for a good 15 months. And he still hasn't won any championships. He's only had a couple title shots, you know, when he had that, you know, that mini feud with Finn Balor for the IC title earlier this year after Mania. I think it was that Super Showdown. But Andrade, one of the best wrestlers on the entire main roster, we hear all this about Vince loves Andrade. Andrade's going to get a big push. Where? I don't see it. It's like the same thing with Drew McIntyre. The same thing. Two of your best main roster superstars, and they're not being built at all. Andrade, I remember sitting here about a year ago with Moose, back when we were doing the Legit Soup podcast. All right? We're talking about Andrade Jr., all right? I said, Junior, if you make a reaction to Sasha versus Becky's match, I'll put it live on the channel. But back to Andrade. I sat here about a year ago. I sat here, all right, and I said, basically back in the Legit Shoot podcast, back when the podcast was in its prime, I said, Andrade Cien, this is the way you build him up. You have him go after the United States Championship, all right? The United States Championship, right? Then, afterwards, you know, after WrestleMania, you have him drop that title. And then that's when you put him in the main event scene. That's when you have him going competing against Daniel Bryan, Roman, Kofi over the WWE Championship. I could get invested in an Andrade versus Kofi Kingston WWE Championship feud. But they don't build him up. And where is Buddy Murphy? We haven't seen Buddy Murphy since he got eliminated from the King of the Ring tournament. Buddy Murphy was my original pick to win the King of the Ring tournament. The guy had 3 great weeks of matches against Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Mustafa Ali. Now, where is he? Huh? Is he back in catering? Is his push over? Look, what are we doing here? Mustafa Ali should be going after the IC title or fighting in the main event. WWE has more talent than ever, and they refuse to use it. Andrade Cien should have never got eliminated from King of the Ring. The fact that this guy's not in the main event scene fighting over the WWE Championship is ridiculous. When is this guy going to get pushed? When is this guy going to get pushed at all? Well, Junior, why are you scared? Man, like, is this your first show? Or something like that? Tell me why you're scared and then I'll answer your question. But Andrade... Oh, you said this is your first show, Junior? Tips. Well, where are you first of all? Where are your seats? I don't know where your seats are. But honestly, don't be scared. You're there to have a good time. Enjoy the show, bro. Enjoy the show. That's the point of it at the end of the day. The whole point is for you to enjoy the show. Enjoy the wrestling. Enjoy, Oh, near the barricade. Ooh, those are really good seats. That's usually where I would sit when I go to these to a wrestling show. But enjoy it, have fun. That's what it is about. Have fun. You don't need to be nervous at all. Really, go talk to those fans over there. What I would say is though, you're gonna get food. Get food before the show starts. Use the restroom probably during promos, or don't use the bathroom during matches or entrances, because it's really hard to get in and out of the arena because fans are walking and stuff like that. But enjoy yourself, man. That's what it's about. Get your food beforehand. You don't want to do it in the middle of the show unless there's nothing important going on. And also just have fun, and hopefully you have the most fun when Sasha wins. But back to what I was saying. Andrade, the fact that Andrade's not in the main event scene makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense to me. At all. The guy is one of the best wrestlers in that entire company, and they refuse to push him. I don't know why. I understand why they had him lose to The Miz tonight. I understand because, the Miz has to look strong going into his title match this Sunday against Shinsuke, even though I don't think Miz is going to win. But still, it made sense. But still, Andrade is better than that. Andrade should not be losing matches on SmackDown Live to The Miz. The Miz should be getting down and losing to Andrade. But it said they refused to build up Andrade. Honestly, I don't know if Andrade is ever going to get the push that he deserves in WWE. And I'm kind of surprised because remember, Andrade's, engaged to Charlotte Flair, Vince's favorite daughter. Charlotte Flair, Miss Blondie herself. So I'm surprised Andrade hasn't been getting pushed. But who am I, right? What do I know? But after the match, Shinsuke Nakamura attacks Miz once again. This is like the 3rd straight week we've seen this. Shinsuke hits the Kinshasa on the Miz. Shinsuke goes into this match basically with all the momentum. And there's no real reason why Shinsuke shouldn't win at Clash of Champions. But, we'll have to wait and see how that all goes. What else happened? Next up, Chad Gable. Chad Gable is backstage. We see Shane McMahon. And it's ridiculous. I read a report today on why Shane McMahon has not been on WWE TV. We all thought that Shane McMahon... Junior, I saw the video you sent. It was kind of funny, but it was an older video, so, I was like, okay. But Shane McMahon, we heard all this about Shane McMahon not being on WWE television, right? Shane McMahon, was going to be taken off WWE television after SummerSlam, after losing the KO. Alright, but he was only gone for a couple weeks. Why is he back? Shane McMahon, legit, from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, was one of the worst, if not the worst thing on WWE television. And now... he's back? Why? I don't know, Junior. Maybe this weekend. But he's back. Why? Why is he back? Why? He doesn't add anything to these shows. I'm tired of seeing Shane McMahon. The guy's not special. He's not that good in the ring. Even though once in a while he gives you a little bit something, but he's not that good in the ring. All right? Why? They had him. They had to, they had it. Gable. They informed Chad Gable that he would be facing. He would be facing Chad Gable in the King of the Ring tournament. And I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. They're gonna make Shane McMahon the best in the world plus Mr. King of the Ring. Define the whole point. And it's ridiculous. WWE has legit ruined the King of the Ring tournament. I said this last night. The way WWE had the King of the Ring tournament the last couple weeks, alright, has ruined the tournament for me. The first couple weeks after SummerSlam, they did a great job. They focused on the in-ring talent. These one-on-one matches got time. Now the last couple weeks, they've changed it around, and it's so unnecessary. And it's made the tournament look less interesting and less important in my eyes. All right, you've had the controversy last week with Ricochet and Samoa Joe, which led to the triple threat match this week. You had the conflict of, Elias being replaced by Shane McMahon. You've had all this unnecessary crap. Instead of just focusing, let it be a one-on-one tournament, letting the tournament go on smoothly, letting these wrestlers showcase their ability in the ring. No, you're trying to make it interesting by adding all this unnecessary garbage, and it's making the tournament worse than it actually should be. And I absolutely hate it. They've ruined the King of the Ring tournament. They've ruined it. They started off so well, and then as the weeks go by, the matches have slowly gotten worse, and worse. Not the matches, but the tournament itself and the quality. If you guys understand what I mean. So they announced Shane McMahon and Chad Gable, and and then everyone's mad on Twitter, and I understand why. We're tired of the Shane McMahon push. Why are we still getting it? Why? Remember, there was a time when we thought we were going to get Shane McMahon versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. Thank God. Thank God we didn't get that. Oh my goodness. But moving forward, we see later on, we see Shane, he's getting ready for his match, and then we see Kevin Owens confront him. All right, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon called for Kevin Owens' presence. And basically Shane McMahon tosses Kevin Owens a referee shirt and said, "This is what the deal is. I will get rid of your $100,000 fine. I will get rid of it if all you have to do is do your job and be a fair referee in tonight's main event. Be a fair referee in my match with Chad Gable." All right. Basically, that was just short for help me win this match. And that $100,000 fine will be gone. Even though we know that fine doesn't really exist. It's just for the sake of the story. But it was kind of interesting. But then right away we're like, are they going to turn KO back heel? Is KO going to align himself with Shane McMahon? Those thoughts were legit running through my head. And I'm just like, huh? What are we doing? Why? Should SmackDown Live bring back the fifth stage? Yes. I would say yes, because SmackDown Live, and you could say the same thing about Raw. Both these shows need a complete overhaul. Need a complete different look, complete new music, all that. Hopefully the Fox will bring some legit changes to SmackDown Live. Alright? Hopefully we get to see a new intro. We're getting the studio show, and hopefully we get a new stage. I wouldn't mind them bring back the fist. I would rather them have a whole new unique stage, something we haven't seen before. But if they bring back the fish, hey, I will not mind that. I actually love the fish stage. One of my favorite stages from Raw and SmackDown over the years. But back to what we were talking about. Basically, I thought this was all going to lead to KO turning heel and aligning himself with Shane McMahon. Luckily, that didn't happen tonight, but still didn't make sense to me. But we'll talk about that hopefully. Give me 1 second. I gotta plug my laptop back in. love how this happens almost every single time I'm recording my reviews. Every time I'm recording my review, that's when my laptop is close to dying. Alright, we should be all set. Alright, but back to what we were talking about. Moving on, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship. Well, we had Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss versus Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville at ringside. I didn't care about this at all. Legit, this was legit garbage. This was legit garbage. Alright, before the match, Mandy Rose takes the mic and calls Nikki Cross ugly. This gets Nikki Cross angry, who charges to the ring to attack Mandy. And then Sonya Deville tried to get involved later on in the match, and Alexa Bliss stopped that from happening by taking Sonya's leg and sweeping her off of the ring apron. This allows Nikki Cross to roll Mandy Rose for the three count. 1, 2, 3. This was garbage. All right. This just once again shows that WWE does not care about the Women's Tag Team Championships at all. All right, I still don't know. Is Alexa Bliss babyface or is she heel? All right, because clearly Mandy and Sonya are the heels here. Actually Nikki and Alexa did actually get some babyface chance tonight. But hey, next week you'll have Alexa Bliss crapping on the crowd like usual. I don't understand. If you want, I wouldn't mind Alexa Bliss being a babyface. I really wouldn't. But, stop teasing us each and every week. Either make her a babyface or keep her as a heel full time. Like, come on. Mandy, was cringe tonight. Legit cringe. We're building a women's tag team championship match. The way you build it is you have Mandy come out and just call Nikki ugly? Like, what? What happened to making this actually about the championships? What happened to this making this about, the actual wrestling in the ring? We're building feuds around the fact that one female superstar called another female superstar ugly. That's how you build a championship feud in 2019? Really, WWE? And this is why AEW is laughing in your faces. Wow. Very creative. Very creative. Alright? That is something worthy of Vince McMahon ripping off the TV script. I don't know who wrote that, but whoever's idea was for Mandy Rose to come out and say that tonight should be fired on the spot. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I don't know what. This is why no one cares about the women's tag team titles. Don't understand that at all. Next up, we had the Heavy Machinery versus local competitors. All right. This was clearly done just to fill in time, because WWE had nothing else they could have done. Honestly, they could have I don't know. I do see you. Yes, promos are going unscripted. I do appreciate WWE doing that, but this was definitely not unscripted. This had to be scripted. There's no way. If Mandy was smart enough, all right, if they actually came up to Mandy and said, "Give me, come up with your own promo tonight." There's no way, if Mandy had any sense, that she would go out there and say something stupid like that. Come on. But Heavy Machinery versus local competitors, alright? So it seems like they're going with the Viking Raiders attached. Remember, we saw for the last 2 months, we saw the Viking Raiders going up against local competition. This was done to fill time, because Heavy Machinery, they're already pretty over with the live crowd. I'm hoping eventually they'll give Heavy Machinery a run with the Raw Tag Team Championship. Or the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But my main problem here is, where's the Revival? Where is the New Day? I don't think we've seen the New Day for 2 weeks. We've seen Kofi, but where Big E? Where Xavier? They're not injured. Per storyline, they're injured, but where are they? They're set to defend the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships this Sunday against the Revival. Alright, that's two of the best teams on the main roster, but yet this feud has absolutely no build. No build. It makes no sense in my eyes. And Junior, I like your list, but the thing is, Sasha's staying on Raw. Becky's getting moved to SmackDown based off of the reports. based on what's going to happen with the draft in the next couple weeks. But you have a SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match this Sunday at Clash of Champions, and the match has zero build. Zero. Honestly, Clash, if you sense this match has no build, you're better off putting New Day versus Revival on the pre-show, since there's this match card is already loaded with a bunch of matches already. Save time, put New Day versus Revival on the pre-show. Honestly, you're not gonna build the match. There's no point in making us watch it on pay-per-view. All right, it's like WWE just forgot that they're defending these titles Sunday. Like, come on. Next up, Eric Rowan destroys everything in his way to getting to Roman Reigns. So they had Eric Rowan come out tonight, more explaining his actions. They had Eric Rowan come in explaining his actions for what happened last week with the attack on Roman Reigns. Didn't make much sense to me, in my opinion. They basically had Eric Rowan come. It was kind of creepy. They had Eric Rowan come out staring into the camera, and honestly, I didn't really know where they were going with all this. I don't know if they're trying to push Eric Rowan. They didn't even have Daniel Bryan on tonight's show, and I'm still confused if they're trying to make Daniel Bryan babyface or if they're keeping him as a heel. Honestly, it makes zero sense in my opinion. Zero sense. But you had Aaron Rowan out there. The way he was staring to the camera with his eyes all googly, it was kind of weird. He was telling the crowd to look into my eyes, look into my eyes. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Look into my eyes. Weird. Pretty weird. Not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. But I've never really cared about Eric Rowan. Maybe the only time I really cared about Eric Rowan was when he was with Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper and the Wyatt family, and a little bit when him and Luke were the Bludgeon Brothers. They were an actually decent team in my opinion. But I don't really care about an Eric Rowan singles run. I don't know how far they're planning on pushing Eric, but we'll have to wait and see. There was Roman came out, they had a brawl, and basically, I didn't care about the brawl. There was a point where they're on the stage and Rowan, slams a camera in Roman's face, which, is kind of something new. We don't see cameras get used as weapons that much in WWE these days, so I can appreciate that. It was later announced that at Clash of Champions we're going to get a no disqualification match between those two. I don't care. Won't be watching that match at all. Don't care about Rowan versus Roman. Honestly, this show should be about the championships, since it's called Clash of Champions. Rowan versus Reigns, that's a pre-show match in my opinion. I have zero care for this match. I have zero care about this mystery storyline of who's trying to kill Roman, whatever. Alright? Don't care. Next up, we had Bayley versus Ember Moon. Alright? So basically, there was a backstage segment, which I actually didn't think was bad. There was a backstage segment with Bayley and Ember Moon where they talked about Ember Moon basically confronted Bayley, saying, "What's happened to you? The Bayley I know would never attack Becky Lynch with a chair. The Bayley that I know cares about the SmackDown Women's Division." And then Bayley, said what she tried to teach these kids. She tried to teach everyone about loyalty. Stay loyal to your friends, the ones that always have your backs. Yada yada this, yada yada that. And she was also doing it to elevate the SmackDown Women's Championship. Ember, and I kind of love the way Ember's attitude was. I love Ember when she's on fire and when, she's not taking any bull crap from anybody. Ember basically said to Bayley, you weren't elevating the SmackDown Women's Championship. You're just elevating yourself. I don't know if it's Sasha's influence on you, but still, at the end of the day, this is not the Bayley I know. But then Bayley got in Ember's face, or it was Ember that got in Bayley's face, I don't know. And Ember said, "We can settle this in the ring." Alright, so we had Bayley versus Ember Moon. I knew that Ember wasn't winning this match because why would you have Bayley lose cleanly 5 days before her match? Even though she got pinned cleanly last night on Raw in that amazing tag team match with her, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. But still, this Sunday I'm still going with Bayley as my winner. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more on the preview show tomorrow. But this was I love Ember Moon. I wish she would get pushed. I wish Ember would finally become champion. All right. But, that doesn't seem the direction they're going to. Maybe later down the line, when or if they start building towards Sasha versus Bayley at Mania next year, maybe we'll get that. All right. Maybe we'll finally get Ember. We'll finally get her chance to be champion. But for right now, that's not the direction they're going with. I hate seeing Ember lose clean, but it is what it is. Afterwards, Charlotte comes into the ring, and basically just getting Becky Bayley's face, saying, "I'm taking your title this week." Bayley, all she did was exit the ring, say, "I'll see you this Sunday." I honestly don't know. I'm gonna keep saying it. All right, Bayley's not a heel. She had that. Yes, last week was great, what she did with Sasha. But two things I want to mention here. One, I don't want to see Bayley and Sasha together every single week. Yes, I get it. They're aligned. All right. But I don't need to see them together each and every single week. I don't. Let Sasha do her own thing on Raw. Let Bayley do her own thing on SmackDown. And every once in a while, we see them come together, and do business. If your plan is for Sasha to be Raw Women's Champion and Bayley to be SmackDown Women's Champion, and eventually to have Bayley and Sasha win the Women's Tag Team Championships, I'm all for it. All right? I'm all for it. I said it last week in my video. But, but if that's not the direction you go to, there's no need for us to be seeing Bayley and Sasha together each and every single week. Bayley does not feel like a heel. I don't know if it's Madison Square Garden, since Bayley was both on Raw and SmackDown tonight. She basically got the same reaction she did last night on Raw. I just don't know if it's NYC. But the thing about it is, NYC is supposed to be one of the smartest crowds in the entire industry. But I guess they're not. All right? I guess they're not. Because Bayley's still not getting getting booed. Sasha's not getting booed to the level that she should be. Because people want to see these two succeed. All right? And you're not helping the fact because you're not changing Bayley's character. She doesn't feel like a heel at all. Yes, maybe in her promos she comes across a little heelish. But, you're not going to get me to say Bayley's full heel because she's not. She's not. She's barely even a tweener in my opinion. You want Bayley to be a heel? I'll say the same thing I said last week. I'll say the same thing I said last Monday. You change Bayley's Titantron. No more of this hugger nonsense. Get rid of the inflatables. Get rid of that. Have her take the damn ponytail off. Let her wear her hair down. Change her ring gear. Make it more blackish with a new attitude. And then we can start working on her character and make her actually look like a heel. Because right now, you're trying to make people believe that Bayley's a heel, but she comes across as a babyface. She comes across as a tweener. And it makes me sick. Because then we can do so much better with Bayley's heel turn. It's not feeling organic. It's just feeling like WWE's trying to force a heel turn upon Bayley. But they're not taking the right steps to actually get us to believe she's an actual heel. And WWE can do way, way better. We'll see this Sunday if they go full force with the Bayley heel turn. But we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we had Kofi Kingston. A junior. A tweener is basically someone in the middle of a babyface or heel. Alright? Someone that may act like a heel but gets more babyface chance. The perfect example of a tweener was, I guess, Becky Lynch last year. Remember those like that month and a half where they tried to make us believe that Becky was a heel, but the fans refused to they refused to boo her? Or you can no, I'm not gonna say an anti-hero is a tweener. No. Alright, because basically that would be saying Stone Cold Steve Austin was never a babyface. When Stone Cold Steve Austin, during his prime, was probably the biggest babyface in WWE history. Alright? No. Becky Lynch, last year, after SummerSlam, when they tried to make her look like a heel, but the fans refused to boo her, so she was basically a tweener. Until they turned her right back into a babyface. All right, because they had no choice but to, because they knew the crowd was not going to boo her no matter what she did. And that's one of the problems with WWE. All right, that's one of the problems. They're always they have no true heels. They have no true heels. Adam Cole in NXT. Adam Cole, yes, he acts like a heel, but the crowd refuses to boo him. The crowd's always cheering him. They're always doing the Adam Cole baby with him. Adam Cole in the eyes of the fans is not a heel. He's a tweener. He's a tweener. Unless you get someone to actually be a heel, to boo them so badly where we don't want to see them on television. We want to see them lose. Someone like a Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is a legit heel. He's a legit heel because we don't want to see him win. Daniel Bryan's not a heel. Because when Daniel Bryan first comes out, he gets babyface reactions. He gets babyface reactions. They don't start booing Daniel Bryan until he starts crapping on the crowd. So a real heel is somebody that you legit don't want to see from the moment they come out on the stage to the moment they leave. All right? Not someone that they cheer when they first come out and then they boo later on. No, someone they legit want to see lose. All right? Lose. And there's legit not many heels, if any, in WWE these days. Back to the next up, Kofi Kingston. All right? I enjoyed this segment because back in 2009, I remember I'm just a little kid. I used to always sneak downstairs to watch WWE on the TV where my parents would send me to bed. And my parents never wanted me watching wrestling in the first place. I remember that night in 2009, back when WWE was in MSG. I remember that night because the main event that night was Cena versus Taker versus Chris Jericho and Big Show, when those two were the tag team champions, all right, and then against DX. I remember that night. They had the famous segment where Kofi was just getting pushed as a babyface, and they had that famous segment when he did the boob drop from out of the crowd onto Randy Orton on the table. One of my favorite segments, because I was a huge Kofi Kingston fan at the time. Still am to this day. But you see, I knew where they were going with this from the moment Kofi Kingston came out. Before Kofi Kingston came out, they showed him walking down the hallways in MSG with and they said they had a little plaque of Kofi back in 2009 on that night when he put Orton through the table. Kofi Kingston came out. He reminisced about his attack on Randy Orton. They even showed a video package of that night. Then Orton came out, did the normal thing when he calls him stupid, all this, and basically saying everything Kofi's done in the last 10 years or 11 years that he's been to WWE means nothing to what Orton's done during that time. All right. Then basically Orton goaded Kofi into the crowd. Kofi takes off his apparel, takes off his title, and then he goes after Orton. And they started brawling. They had a pretty long brawl. It was like a 5-minute brawl. Orton hit some chair shots on Kofi, and Kofi that turned the tables. It was a pretty good brawl, all right? And basically, I could see where this was going a mile away. Kofi puts Orton on a table, gets on the stands, and basically did the same boom drop he did to Randy Orton back in 2009. Basically recreated that moment, all right? That moment back in 2009 is going to go down as one of Kofi Kingston's best of all time. All right, it's the night when, in my opinion, Kofi became a big star in WWE. Even though it took him 11 years to finally get to the main event and become WWE champion, that was the night where Kofi became a star in WWE. And, it was great to see that moment recreated tonight. I enjoyed this segment, and Kofi needed the momentum. Kofi's been getting beat down by Orton the last 3 weeks. No matter if it's Orton attacking backstage by using the DDT or Orton attacking him with the revival, Kofi's getting his ass kicked. All right, I still don't know who I'm gonna pick. This Sunday. Hopefully, I'll have a decision made by tomorrow night for the preview show. But I still have no idea who I'm gonna pick this Sunday between Kofi and Orton. All right, I'm excited for their match. It's one of the matches I care about. It has a way better build than Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman have had over the Universal Championship, and I'm excited to see that match. All right, but This is a rivalry based on what happens this Sunday. This is a rivalry we're probably going to see conclude inside Hell in a Cell next month. Probably. But I enjoyed it. And we'll see who wins this Sunday. I'm 50-50, on Kofi and Randy. I don't know who wins this match, but we'll have to wait and see this Sunday. Going into our main event, we had the King of the Ring semifinals. Chad Gable versus Shane McMahon with Kevin Owens as the special guest referee. This was clearly, everyone was voting for Chad Gable. Everybody, well, Junior, I don't know. It's going to depend on if Kofi even wins this Sunday. All right. Honestly, I have no idea where they go with Kofi. If Kofi survives Randy, maybe, I would love to see Andrade, but Andrade's not built up. Maybe you go down a different direction. Maybe you go Kofi versus Buddy Murphy. I would definitely love to see that. There's still definitely challenges for Kofi to face. They could always go back to Daniel Bryan if they wanted to. I would not be surprised. I'm really surprised they still haven't done Kofi versus Roman Reigns. I'm really surprised they haven't done that. But that's only, but Kofi has to get by Randy Orton first. I'm not even that confident that Kofi is even gonna win this Sunday at Clash of Champions. And even if he does win, I don't think Kofi makes it past Hell in a Cell with that title. That's just my personal opinion. But into our main event, we had Chad Gable versus Shane McMahon in the semifinals for the King of the Ring with KO as the special guest referee. Basically, the match started off very, very quickly. And basically, Gable won the match very quick. He caught Shane with a German suplex. All right, a German suplex. I don't know if he's gonna ruin the Universal Championship match this Sunday. He might. Maybe that will set up a triple threat match. We'll have to wait and see. But Chad Gable caught Shane with a German suplex. 1, 2, 3. It was a fast count by KO. KO was getting revenge on Shane. Remember when Shane screwed KO out of the King of the Ring tournament against Elias back in the first round weeks ago? But right after the win, Shane McMahon, of course, using his authority power, had announced that the match was out 2 out of 3 falls. And, the match went by pretty quickly because there was only about 10 minutes left in the show. Then he realized that, he had to have Shane win. He had to do whatever he could to have Shane win because he knew that, basically, if Shane wins, that $100,000 fine would be taken away. And KO would save his family a lot of money. But basically then he started doing fast counts for Shane and doing very slow counts for Gable. But Chad Gable got Shane with the ankle lock and forced him to tap out. And after the match, KO's going and talking to Shane like, I did what you had to do. You can't be mad at me. You're the one that tapped out. This is not my fault. All right? I just did my job as the referee. I can't just sit there and ignore the fact that you tap out. You tapped out. All right? That has nothing to do with me. But instead, Shane McMahon attacked KO, and he grabs the mic and he just says, "You're fired." He fires KO. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why they're continuing this rivalry. I really don't. I love KO and everything. But how many times have we been down this route with KO? Honestly, in the last 5 years since KO has been on the main roster, how many times has he been fired? We've seen this with Triple H. We've seen this with Stephanie McMahon. We've seen this with Mick Foley. We've seen it with Vince McMahon. Now we're seeing it with Shane McMahon. Honestly, how many times are we going to go down this route with KO? All right, no matter if he's babyface, no matter if he's heel, why are we doing this? Why are you doing this? Yes, this is for storyline purposes, but I don't know, why. KO versus Shane McMahon, that rivalry should have been done, finished, in the grave, in the archives, should have been finished at SummerSlam. Why are they continuing this? Are you trying to give us KO versus Shane McMahon? Is this what's going to happen? Are you going to do, at Hell in a Cell, KO versus Shane McMahon? If KO wins, he gets his job back. If Shane McMahon loses, he's out of power. Is that what we're going for? Didn't we just have KO versus Shane McMahon 2 years ago at Hell in a Cell? back when KO was the heel and Shane was the babyface? Is that the direction we're going with? Like, why? I love KO, but I don't care about this feud with Shane McMahon. Move him on to something new. I would not mind seeing KO versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the IC Championship. That's a feud I could get behind. But instead, you want to keep KO wrapped up in this whole mess with Shane McMahon. Why? Why? So you can get them inside Hell in a Cell? Honestly, the way it's looking like right now, we could see 4 or 5 Hell in a Cell matches at that pay-per-view. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, Bray Wyatt versus either Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman, potentially. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston, most likely. KO versus Shane McMahon. Maybe we see Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. I don't even know at this point. Alright, I don't even know. It seems like WWE's going to go down the direction of 3 or 4 Hell in a Cell matches, which I don't care. Why? Why? I don't think they're going to do KO versus AJ for the US title because they've already done that feud. Yes, it would be different now. AJ's the heel and KO's the babyface. But still, AJ's on Raw, KO's on SmackDown. Especially with the move the Fox to SmackDown. With SmackDown moving the Fox, I just don't see them going out that direction. I would much rather see KO versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the IC Championship. Definitely. But honestly, I'm tired of this Shane McMahon storyline. I don't see why he's back on TV. Doesn't bring anything. Doesn't add any value for me personally. If they're going down this road, if they're planning to do this they're setting this up for Hell in a Cell, so be it. But honestly, it's not what I would do. Alright? I don't really care about this feud anymore. I know you guys don't really care about this feud anymore. Honestly, we don't need it. We really don't need it. But we'll see where they go with it. But other than that, that's about all I got for you guys today. That's your SmackDown Live review. Honestly, I'm surprised the SmackDown Live review went longer than the Monday Night Raw review from last night. But we talked about a lot tonight. This was a boring show for me, in my opinion. Nothing really, got my attention, but it is what it is. Just to let you guys know, the Monday Night Raw review is up. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, make sure to go see it. It's live on the channel. Most likely tomorrow, some point, either in the afternoon or in the evening, I will be live with the Clash of Champions preview and prediction show. Remember, also this Sunday we will be having the Clash of Champions either live stream with the live reactions, but we'll definitely, no matter what happens, we will have a Clash of Champions review right after the show goes off the air. That's about all I got for you guys today. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description down below. If you guys are new, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch reaction, definitely. Hopefully, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch is the main event for Hell in a Cell. I'm praying that it is, because it's the only match other than Kofi versus Randy that, in my opinion, is deserving of the main event of Clash Champions. But we'll have to wait and see. Definitely, I will be reacting to Sasha versus Becky, which I cannot wait for. Hopefully, I'll see you guys all there. But remember, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Enable notifications by clicking the bell right next to my name, Fitzmonk TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. Thank you to everyone who came through to the stream tonight. Hopefully, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the Clash of Champions preview and prediction show. Probably won't be a live stream. Probably will be a normal video, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll make that decision tomorrow. I'll see you guys later once again. Thank you guys for all the support. Have a great night, everyone. Peace.